It is 9:30 and we continue to follow a major winter storm that's going to be lasting into tomorrow here in central Indiana. I want to give you a live look outside right now at 9:30. This is near I-465 and I-74 on the southeast side of the city. You can see traffic is actually moving along okay right now. You can also kind of see that shifty snow kind of blowing across the highway there. We'll give you another look at a different highway to the northwest side, I-465 and Ditch. Again, this is on the northwest side. Looks like, I can't tell if that's a plow or someone pulled over at the side of the road with the flashers on.
Hard to tell at this point.
It is. But you can tell here traffic moving a little more slowly as we deal with some additional snowfall. And again, this is just the start of several inches of snowfall, perhaps up to a foot here in central Indiana. So thanks again for being with us on WTHR Plus. I'm Jenny Renovich along with meteorologist Robb Ellis, who's continuing to kind of track what we can expect. I know we had kind of a burst of snow early. Then a lull, which we're kind of still in. When does it ramp up again?
So keep this in mind. It started snowing about 3:30, 4 o'clock or so. It's now 9:30. So over the course of 6 hours, officially at the airport, we have 1 inch of snow.
Okay.
That's all we've received so far.
So a lot to come.
A lot to come. After midnight through, I think, about midday, we'll pick up almost everything from this system. So it's really going to ramp up overnight, but especially by tomorrow morning. There's the snow that's moving through. There have been some bands that have been a little bit heavier. I am going to show you some model projections that are going to maybe suggest that the amounts are going to go up a little bit, but I'm going to walk you through why I still think I'm going to hold to my forecast. There have been a couple of observations farther to the south and west that have started to pop up, showing as much as 2 inches of snow. I've seen a couple of unverified reports of 2 inches of snow in Carmel. We've got about 1 inch of snow officially at the airport. They just said that as of 9 o'clock, so a half hour or so ago. Right now, traffic's looking okay. I've been keeping an eye on a lot of these roadways here. I think we've had a couple of issues that have popped up and then quickly gone away. I think that's going to continue to be the case. We had some issues westbound on 70 earlier, but now moving. What's happening is a lot of this is blowing. As Jenny said, it's kind of shifty, and it will shift a bit, especially as the winds pick back up. Watch as the cars go through. You can really see in the lights the blowing snow, and this is a very powdery snow that's going to stay with us through tomorrow. Starting to see the visibility drop here in downtown Indianapolis. That's a good indication of the rate of snow picking up just a bit. I think that rate will pick up even more overnight. I don't know that it's ever going to fall heavily during the day tomorrow, but it's just going to fall lightly to moderately for a long amount of time. Current temperature is 10 degrees, and the wind chill values are certainly much lower than that. This map is the same as it has been, although Bloomington did drop a degree or so. They're down to 11 right now, but still single digits to near 12 degrees or so, and the feels-like temperatures now down to 11 below in Crawfordsville. But this will stay with us through tonight, through tomorrow, and into Monday, and even drop a bit into Monday and Tuesday, because the temperatures will drop a bit more once the snow finally moves on, and we're left with this much snow on the ground. Now, 8 to 12 is still what we have forecast for the entire duration of the snowstorm. Add the 1 inch to 2 inches that we have right now, and then all the way through 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, snow will still be falling, and I think this is where we'll end up. The one question we've had is, will the system, the winter storm, jog just a little bit to the north and push everything a little farther to the north? There's some indications that may be happening, but I really think we're on track. Everything that we've expected to happen is happening. Now, I'm going to show you some model output. I don't want you to freak out too much when I show you this, because I'm going to tell you why I still think we're in the ballpark of where our range is. This is what the model thinks will have fallen by 10:30 p.m. We're already sitting at about 1 inch, and it's only snowing lightly. So it may be overdoing the model just a hair, just a little bit. So when I put this in motion, and yes, the totals will go up, and yes, the totals will go up. This particular model has some pretty scary numbers farther to the south, but this is just potential for snow to fall. It doesn't talk about what happens as it falls and how it compacts as it reaches the ground. Keep in mind, it's a very fluffy snow that's expected to eventually compact down, and some of this will get eaten into with some dry air. We've seen that through the day. It has eaten up some of the snow. So that's the model projection. We take that into consideration. I still think we're on track for 8 to 12 for Indy. Farther to the south, we could see more than a foot. I think a lot of this is going to compact down. down, and some of that's still going to get eaten into with some of the drier air. Still a little bit breezy. We have some breezes, some windy conditions to 20 or 25 miles per hour. These are just the wind speeds. The gusts are going to be about 10 to 15 miles per hour. More than that, which is going to take all this snow and blow it around. Now, watch on Future Track. As we get through the overnight, watch these areas of darker blue that are really going to become more dominant once we get to morning. See that really heavier snow that's going to pick up farther to the south? This is when we're really expecting the bulk of the snow to arrive. It will fall overnight, probably after 3 a.m. through about maybe 9 a.m. to maybe midday, and then we'll start to see the snow shut down a bit. If anything has changed, it's that maybe we'll move up the timing of the snow shutting down by just an hour or so. I still think it's going to continue snowing through the afternoon about as lightly as it is right now, even into the evening, and then we'll start to see this slowly begin to shut down. Once we get past about 9 p.m., we may have a little bit of lake enhancement, lake effect snow that's enhanced by some of the wind coming off of the very warm Lake Michigan that's helping to add a little bit more snow or clouds to the mix, but given how much snow is on the ground, that is essentially inconsequential. By Monday morning, we're talking about temperatures near or below zero and staying very cold during the day. Having said all that, one of the things that we're also tracking, temperatures staying cold beyond this system. So high temperatures maybe getting to 20 by Tuesday, and then we certainly have some cold temperatures. Before I send things back over to Jenny, very quickly, I want to hit the 7-day. There's your cold temperatures that stick around. And just briefly, I want to mention nationally, because this is such a big system, nationally, I want to tell you that farther to the south, keep in mind, this is what's all moving our way. This is what we're dealing with right now. We've got to get through all of this. And farther to the south, they're dealing with ice. Ice that is causing power outages right now in Texas and in parts of Louisiana, especially where ice has really accumulated, and we'll likely see more ice fall. Watch as we get through about tomorrow afternoon. You'll see a significant amount of ice in Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and then eventually into the Carolinas. This is going to cause big problems with power outages, but also airports. Some of the big hubs here, Atlanta, Charlotte, over to Houston, Dallas, Nashville. There's going to be some big delays because of all of that snow and ice that's falling through a significant portion of the country. Winter storm warnings from the southwest all the way to the northeast. Yeah, we did have several dozen delays and cancellations here at Indianapolis International Airport. So, of course, if you have travel plans, call the airport, check that before you start. Yeah, and they're going to cascade from one airport. It may not be where you're going, maybe other planes that are trying to come in from
your
other
connecting
locations.
Flight. Yep. Of course, there are issues on the roads, too. We're not just talking air travel, so we want to get you an update on the road conditions right now. Our Jenna Webster is live for us. So, Jenna, where are you now, and what are you seeing?
We are just getting on I-65 northbound, leaving the Franklin area. It was funny when we were getting on the entrance ramp to I-65. There's like 3 plows back there. They are staged. They are ready to go. As Rob was saying during our 9 o'clock hour, there's not a ton of plows that are actually out plowing the roads right now. We have seen a few, but the snow really just hasn't built up that much where they're able to plow it at this point, just kind of drifting at this point. But I want to take your attention, if you can see on our camera that's showing the roads right now. We are in the right-hand road, and you can see it is mostly clear. Definitely still some slick spots, but if you see more of this left-hand road, really snow covered right now, where no one is driving on that. It is just this right-hand road where you can kind of see a little bit, but you also see the snow drifting. As I mentioned, I have been checking in with some of our emergency management agencies. I just talked to Boone County just a little bit ago. I know earlier during our 6 o'clock newscast, they were dealing with a few accidents on I-65. I do not have an update on those accidents, but the EMA director was saying, other than that, they are doing fine with their snow response. But given those accidents, given that there's been a few, their message tonight is really just to slow down. And if you have to head out, make sure that you just have all those supplies in your car, just in case you happen to get stranded. We did during our 6 o'clock newscast see a couple cars that had slid off the road into the ditch, and one tow truck was there assisting. But as we're going through tonight, it might take some time for crews to get out there and help you. And I do want to give some information that Hancock County had put out that I thought was really helpful for anyone to know tonight. If you're needing to call for help. They have some good tips on who to call for what. So you want to call those non-emergency lines for things like an accident with no injuries. Like if you see a car that slid off, if you slid off, you're in a ditch, if your car is broken down, those you want to be calling the more non-emergent lines. Call 911 if there's an accident with injuries, there's some sort of medical emergency, or if you witness a crash, you're not sure what the injuries are, those you want to call 911 for. There's also the option to text 911. So they say if there's an impassable road, there's an abnormally icy road, there's trees across the road, that's what you want to text 911 for. But they don't want you to call dispatch anything for road conditions or weather information. You can come to us for that. You can find all that information online, but pretty quiet out here out on I-65 right now. We are driving just about 35 miles per hour. You can kind of feel the snow under the tires a little bit. So many of our counties tonight are under a travel advisory. I believe it was Hendricks County I was talking to earlier. They're in that low level. They were in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning, going to reevaluate whether they wanted to raise that to essential travel only, because we know that's when they're a little bit more concerned about the snow and the plows not being able to keep up with the rate of snowfall as much. But everyone's message really tonight is, if you can, just please stay off the roads and let emergency crews, let the plows do their work.
Yeah, certainly good advice, especially since this snow event is falling on a weekend, so you feel like a lot more people can take advantage of that and stay home, and they don't have to go to work. And so hopefully people heed that message.
Yeah, and one of the things I've been noticing, Jenna, in your shot is that you said the left lane is completely snow covered. What I'm noticing there, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, is that the salt is either not applied,
or it's blown away.
It's ineffective because the temperatures are so cold, and there's also the salt shortage that we have been talking a little bit about. So it's interesting to see that you broke down the lane by lane. As the meteorologist, that's very helpful to me to understand how the conditions are unfolding.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate your live report, Jenna. Thanks so much. You know, Jenna mentioned the travel advisories that are underway, so we want to show you the updated map. This gets updated very regularly. All that yellow, that's where an advisory is in place. So that basically means travel could be restricted if there is a hazardous condition in the area. So that's the lowest level, but certainly an advisory. Orange counties are under a watch. So you can see a couple of those there. That means only essential travel. So basically if you need to get to and from work, or there's an emergency. And there is some red, you can kind of see it under our WTHR bug there. That's the most severe condition. There you see two counties are under a warning, and that just means basically do not go out. So does that kind of track, Rob, as you're talking about the southernmost counties are going to see the most dangerous conditions? Did that fit with that?
Yes, it absolutely does. Yeah. And keep in mind, this is the very beginning of the system.
Sure.
When we talk about that 8 to 12 that we're expecting, that's really when Sean and Matt and Lindsay and I all put that forecast together. We said, look, we even think that this is really going to be what falls after midnight. Okay. So everything up to midnight, even the little bit that we have on the ground right now, is baked into that a little bit, but we said we don't need that to realize that 8 to 12. We still think we're going to get there within that 8 to 12 outside of what's fallen. That map is going to light up like a Christmas tree once we get to tomorrow morning. When the snow rates are heavier, the winds may pick up a little bit and blow a lot of the snow around. It's going to be much more dangerous tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. And we have a link to that on WTHR.com if you want to kind of keep updated on what those county conditions are. Rob, thank you. Thanks for joining us here on WTHR Plus. We'll continue to monitor the conditions for you. Be back when it warrants.